We held out on a truck cap for years. Honestly, we didn't think we needed one, but now we wouldn't travel without it. And here's why. When you hit the road by RV, you realize it rains a lot.
Been raining for 2 days straight.
Look at the rain. It's not even like rain. It's just like this cloud, this sheath.
We're here. It's raining. It's raining. Ow.
We started with a tonneau cover, and it kept things mostly dry, but hauling bigger gear like a generator or our bikes was a challenge. Then we switched to a F450 and a fifth wheel, and those bulky cover panels got in the way, literally. They blocked our camera, and they were a pain to manage. That's when Mark finally listened to the community and gave a topper a shot. And you were right, total game changer.
Oh, wow. No, this is legit.
Now with the new truck, we're leveling up. This time, we're going with a SmartCap.
And I'm loving it.
This video is broken down into 5 parts: assembling the SmartCap, installing it, wiring the brake light, mounting the side bin with our son Carson, and a final review.
And this is where there might have been a mistake made.
The SmartCap was shipped straight to Topper King, so let's go pick it up.
Your destination is on the right.
I see that. You made it back in anywhere or just pull up right here? Oh, awesome.
Take it to the passenger side a little.
Just about to call you to give you an ETA.
We're on the same page way too much lately. Come on.
Hey, I'm gonna be there at 10:37, and Trish put a nice little gift for you in the truck for all your wonderful help today.
Oh, I'm helping today?
Well, Randy, about that. How's it going?
Oh, it's just troubleshooting stuff.
Like what?
Trying to get the welder to work, and
Whoa, we're not welding this thing together.
I have projects of my own too. Okay. You know? Is that okay? I thought you were kidding about Scott though.
No. Scott called me last night and said he wasn't feeling that well. And it's just gonna be Randy and I. I haven't broke the news to Randy yet.
If I'd have known that, I would have left. We have a problem.
I know.
I want the camera job. So I think the way we spin this, just to be extra careful, we're not going to use the forklift.
Yeah. Actually, let's keep this on and set it down. This piece is small. I think this is the front cap.
Yep.
Oh,
Just kidding.
straight from Key West, Ernest Hemingway's rum,
Oh my goodness.
Pilar.
Thank you, Trish. I know Mark didn't think about this. Trish did.
Okay. This is Randy. This screen right here says assembly 1 of 72.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about the instructions really quick. If you successfully roped someone in to help you with this, they're probably going to be pretty eager to get going once you get everything unboxed.
I'm eager to get going, that's for sure.
And that's really not the best time to be diving into the instructions.
Does it have pictures? We can look at the pictures if you want.
The other thing I learned is the QR code for the instructions, like having the instructions on a phone or a tablet, might be handy in a pinch, but looking back now, I wish I would have printed all the instructions and just stapled them and put them in the box so that I could have done a little print. It's not a complicated install by any means, but there are a lot of steps, and I think it would have been better to have a printed paper. So I think we've got the correct layout here. It's a 3-part roof, and this side has the angled edges. I don't know if you can tell, probably can't tell without comparing it to something, but these edges are angled back like this. Whereas this side has the straight edges, as you can tell. You look at the instructions, like there's a roof vent right here, so the roof vent goes back with the back of the SmartCap, and then we've got our right and left with this angled here and this being straight. So now that you kind of have that all sorted out, that really helps. What I really like is that all of these fastening clips, they're already on. So I think it's just a matter of making sure everything's lined up, torquing them down to the right specs, and then we'll assemble it and get started on this right here, which will be placing it onto the truck, fastening it down, making sure we get the seals right. So this will be our second learning curve. We put the right side on, which is actually the left side, and we put the front on. Took some finagling, but we did it. And now we just got this side and the back.
But it's actually been rather easy if you follow the instructions and do it right. It's lining up, the hardware's perfect.
It is perfect.
Yeah.
And you know, if you've done this once, you would do it twice as fast the second time.
Oh yeah.
Like everything. SmartCap assembled. Randy and I are feeling pretty good about that. We've decided to move on to the next step in the program, which is the rubber seal. Very specific instructions on the rubber seal. Talked to my buddy Tyler up in Washington this morning. He's installed a truck cap, and he said just make sure that it's perfectly straight. He's seen installations where it wasn't straight, didn't look so hot. So gonna make sure that that's 1/8 of an inch from the edge in a perfectly straight line. And then SmartCap provides these like rubber bumpers that go inside the seal that it'll rest on the bed. The instructions say that if the front of the bed is a little bit lower than the sides, which mine is, then you could use this foam seal to make it flush. The only thing I'll need to do is clean the top of the, which is really the bottom of the SmartCap, and that front with some rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, something like that. Get it nice and clean. It's sticky.
So I would kind of maybe. Thinking out loud. Sorry.
It's a backbuster, but it wasn't that bad. Once you get going, it's move on. We're gonna take a little lunch, but then we're gonna move on to the cleaning the bed and getting the seals down and figuring out thing, and then we might have to call 1 or 2 people. Randy says he has other friends. I've never met them, just for the record, but he says they're around.
Everybody, hold on, slow down. Our front half. Down the truck resting? I'm not. Okay, hold on. Pretty fine.
We made a slight little boo-boo.
Who did?
I was right there on board with you. he's being a sport and taking full credit, full responsibility for it, but I don't think he has to, because he says, should we go on the leading edge or the back edge? I said, I think the leading edge makes sense. So we put down that weather stripping in the front of the edge. Felt really good about our decision until we got the cap on, and then we realized that the way that the cap sits, it was actually leaving a little bit of a gap on the edges, so water would come down and get in. So we're gonna peel this off. We're gonna go get new stripping and put it on the back edge, and I think it'll be fine. But you know what? One boo-boo and only one trip to get a part on an install, I mean, that's pretty good.
Without Scott.
It's without Scott's? Amazing. But anyway, you can kind of get a sense for what things are looking like over here. It's pretty nice. I looked on the inside. It's great. Look at that. Check out with our camper seal. Wait, I gotta set it down. Woo! I'm gonna get a different spot on my back. I was in between the two bridges. Okay,
I
here.
got my fingers in there.
Okay, yeah, I know. I wasn't gonna lower it on you.
So we're looked like we're a quarter, but the clearance between the cab and the window I'm concerned with, too. You know, that quarter inch could make a difference if it's in a bind. I'm gonna say, truthfully, I think we square it up and we're gonna be fine.
You think it's squared? It almost looks pretty square right now, doesn't it? Step 28. In order to ensure the correct compression of the D rubber, you must use the two 1-inch strips, this, from the two different rubber pads. Now that we've done this, I can see what my buddy Tyler was saying, that if you don't get these seals right, it just doesn't look very good. Because we're gonna clamp this down a little bit more with the clamps, but those seals have gotta be, they gotta be square, or it'd look kinda thrown together. All right, we're headed back to Topper King. That's where SmartCap shipped the topper initially. But Randy and I got the topper on and that all went great. And I read the instructions on how to connect up the third brake light up high. And it really wasn't that complicated. And then I watched a video about it and I thought, yeah, okay, I could do it. But then I called Topper King and asked them how much they'd charge me to do it. And they said, you know, take an hour, charge you an hourly rate. I'm like, sounds better to me. So here we are.
Under here is the ground that we got to go through.
Oh, right there.
Yep.
And that's on both sides, right?
Should be.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So, grommet. Through. Just like that.
Yeah. Got them all.
Okay. That went really well. That's the second time I've been to Topper King. Both times have been great. I think you saw, like, if you're into that type of wiring harness and stuff like that and popping off panels and clipping things in, it's not difficult. It's just one of those things when you're watching you're watching the video and you're reading the instructions, you're like, Nice. This is a pretty simple install. Of course, I got the QR code for right here, but now I've learned to print the instructions. But it's essentially just an Allen wrench and a few of these little clips. And then this, of course, goes inside the bin. It's kind of a two-person job. I did watch a video on this because one person has to hold it up while the other person tightens these fasteners right into these connections. But other than that, it's pretty simple. And let's see. Looks like there's, oh, here. Now you gotta hand tighten them in. Right here, hold on real quick. Alright.
Where are they?
Yep, right there. Right there. Okay, yeah, you're right. There we go. pretty good. I'll measure that for you so you got an exact thing. But man, that's pretty slick.
Press on anything.
There's not like a ridge for that to clip into?
No.
No? Okay, that's cool. And that doesn't stick out too much farther than the wheel well. Trisha's bike, we put hers in first. Oh, look at that. Are you even kidding me? But this bike is no further in due to the bin than it was without the bin, because the handlebars go aft of the bin. Wow. That is so awesome. I wanted to provide a review, some initial thoughts. I think the real review is going to come when we hit the road in 2 weeks, and we've got a 15,000 mile route this year all across the country. And you know, I think that's what makes YouTube so good when it comes to deciding what kind of products might work for you, because you can actually see someone using it in their application. And when it comes to a bumper pull like we have, travel trailer, the topper, and you said it, everyone wrote in, they saw me struggling with the bikes, and the bikes were in the rain and all the space, and they're like, Mark, you're eventually going to get a topper. And they're right. And I did. And once you get a topper, again, this is for towable RVs, like bumper pulls. Once you get a topper, that's it. The functionality is so good. And with this particular truck build, because we went a little bit more tactical and we got the tires and all this stuff. By the way, I think Super Duty's got a little more tactical also. And so my buddy Tyler up in Washington, he got a SmartCap. That's the first time I saw one. These are a lot more popular up in Washington, Oregon, and it's kind of an overlanding application. You know, they've got like a bin like here that has a kitchen, and so you see them in those applications. And I think now we're starting to see them more in an RV application, and I think we're going to see them more and more. But you know, they're all metal, super high quality. The latches are, I mean, it feels marine. So for this, you know, we put the T-mat down on the ground, which will give us the ability to secure things with, you know, these stoppers like this, which is kind of cool. But then I also use the Rocky mounts like this, and these Rocky Mountain clamps. That's a through axle clamp, and this is a 24-inch track. And I can put both of our road bikes, just barely, but I can get both of our road bikes on these. And now I can mount it anywhere I want. So far it's working out, but you know, this is one of those things where when you do truck mods, especially stuff like this, you know, you have an idea in your mind of how it's gonna work, but you don't really know until you get on the road. We did go camping once at Fort DeSoto, and I will tell you, initial reaction to the SmartCap is I really liked it. I loved being able to get access to the truck bed from the side. You know, come in here, just getting all these things without sliding it out. And that's why I didn't do a cargo slide this time, because I have access from the side. Speaking of side access, as you can tell, this is completely blocked off due to the full bin. And this is where there might have been a mistake made, because initially I was gonna do it on the driver's side. And then I got to thinking, you know, what if I keep things in there like road emergency stuff? I wouldn't want it to be on the street side, because if I ever need to access that, I got cars whizzing by me at 60 miles per hour. So I thought it was all smart. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I'm gonna put it on the curb side. And then I was talking to my buddy Tyler, and he said, well, you know, on a blind side back end, I end up opening up that side of the cap all the time to get visibility. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. When you're RVing and you get assigned a site, you don't really have a lot of control as to where they put you. Very often, I'll end up having to do a blindside back end, and now I've covered up the visibility. So if you're considering a SmartCap and you like the way that these full bins function, that's something to consider. Okay, well, it can't all be positive, right? You see that? It didn't take very long. I don't know if you can see that seal. It didn't take very long for that seal to bust over like this, and so it kind of cracked, and then it's going to create an issue there. So I talked, when I was at Topper King, when they were doing the wiring, I showed them.
Try to cut this in half.
Yeah.
That way when you're coming in, you still have some there, but you have your clearance is the biggest thing.
Yeah. The other side seems to work fine, but I'll probably do the same thing to that over there. And then, but it is secure. Look at that. The quality is fantastic. So at this point, I'm just eager to get on the road. I know Trish is too. Next Sunday, we get to finish all the mods. Put in the air, the tank, the airbags, the horn. Gotta have the horn. And then we're gonna hit the road. And then we'll put all this stuff to the test. We'll be super transparent with how it holds up, if it works, so that you can decide what's right for you.